It is Thursday, which is really our casual Friday here on the Pandemic Talk Show. And what a way to end this shitty month. April sucked, right, Goldie? This is April. We have a way to celebrate the way that we should have celebrated when we started this program.
And the whole month is 420 after all.
There you go. It's a little 420 celebration. There we go. Just share that. There you go. Right over there. Perfect. Just go down. Yep. Puff, puff, give.
Can I have my edible too?
And then grab this. Here we go. All right, I got mine made out of
apple core. Nice.
Hey, you know what? It's the Pandemic Talk Show live right now. Hey, it's the Pandemic Talk Show. I'm Justin Kaufman, your host, along with Goldie and TJ Shanoff. It is Thursday, April 30th, and you know what? All the other stuff we can pick up later. Let's introduce our first guest, Horatio Sanz. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, good to see you.
How you been?
I know all you guys, so this is good.
This is good. So where are you? How's the sheltering in place going for you?
It's okay. I have my producer / roommate, Chad Kruger, down here. So it's not so lonely, but it's enough that I can get human contact if I need to. I mean, yeah.
Go on.
Like I've said on other podcasts, we've had a few cold nights here in Echo Park, and sometimes we have to lay next to each other for heat.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna stick to that.
You gotta survive, man. You gotta survive. That's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So, we've been doing this talk show for a little bit now. We're talking to some of our friends, and for you, you know, you've had success, and it's actually great because so many people can be inside and stay at home and watch television. But Black Monday has been a great addition to the lineup for my family and for Goldie. We were talking about it. How'd you get involved in that show? That show's actually kick ass.
It was one of those. A lot of my jobs I get after there's a shakeup on a pilot, you know, which is kind of nice. So I don't really audition a lot. I just wait until there's a shakeup, and then you know, one of my actually a good friend of mine, Eugene Cordero, was doing he did the pilot, but then he went and did that Tacoma fireman show, Tacoma, whatever that is. And so it opened up a spot, and so I was hired to play this part, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and more fun until this year. My character shows his penis, and I think that's the first nudity that's been on Black Monday, so I'm pretty proud of that.
There's been a few wangs on there. It's good to see.
Oh, there have been? Okay.
Yeah, but Wayne's wang is important.
There's more wangs then.
Do they clear the set for your? Do they clear the set for your penis, or is it just all right? Next shot.
Yeah, no, it's just they say, hey, let's invite everybody in. So Crafty comes in, the security guards all come in, and then they're like, all right, let's see it now, and then they all laugh and you know, people fake high five you, and then it's like, all right, let's roll it now. And so that's kind of how it's done in Hollywood. You know, they humiliate you a little bit first, so that when they roll, you're like, okay, I've been past the worst.
Well, you know, it's amazing because you're seeing so many different people who have background from Chicago and improv turning to this medium, to Zoom, to do shows and videos, things like that. Are you doing that? Are you resisting that urge to do improv and things like this and video on the computer screen?
No, I've been doing it, but just with my phone, so it's been a little tricky, but it's fine. You know, there's just that 2.5 second lag. So you just have to wait, you know, and then it's like you say something that's like, oh yeah. So when you get used to that timing, it's pretty good. And as far as my background, this is the background I use when I'm just recording my podcast. And it's a New York Post cover framed, and it says Osama bin Wankin. And that's when they discovered that treasure trove of porn in Osama bin Laden's hideout. So I got that, and then I got I got a Cubs jersey too if I need to. You know,
is that something you framed personally, or someone give that to you as a gift?
My girlfriend at the time was a terrible gift giver, and so I just told her you know, remember this and frame it for me and give it to me on my birthday, and I think it'll be the best gift you've ever given me. And she remembered and had it done professionally, and it's quite nice.
There's been a lot made around Saturday Night Live doing the at-home shows where you see some of the cast members being able to do one-person videos and
Yeah.
films. Have you seen that stuff? Would you like that? If you were a cast member at the time and you were stuck in this situation, would you like the freedom of being able to do that at home?
I would be scared at first, but then, after talking about a few ideas, I think I'd be okay with it. I really do always kind of rely on an audience, and at least an audience inside the cast, or at least an audience inside the studio. So it is a little, I don't feel completely comfortable doing this by myself. I haven't done that yet.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's great. I've enjoyed those shows. It's giving the cast a little breathing room, a little something to stretch their muscles. And like Ego Odom was on, and I've seen her a lot, in the last show, which is great because she's really great. And so, I think a lot of people that don't get a lot of airtime, finally get to do something kind of cool.
Yeah, and something different. So this is the part of the pandemic talk show where we hand it over to all the Horatio Sanz stories from Chicago and otherwise that the culmination of this group have. We'll start with TJ, who was telling us about, I'll just say hashtag Coke weed.
Oh yes, Coke weed.
Coke weed. That you guys worked together at ETC back in the 90s, right?
We did. We were good buds, and we hung out at the time, and so we were at a party, and I really didn't smoke weed that much at the time.
I did.
And you did, and so you took a lot of it like a pro, and it took me about 2.5 hours to talk you out of suicide. You were spinning. Your mind was spinning at fucking 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I was just really just saying, "It's okay, it's okay." And I don't know how. Finally, I think maybe whoever's house it was, maybe they were like calming you down a little bit. Maybe it was a woman who kind of like mothered you back to safety. But it's memorable. I mean, it's happened to one other person, a very similar story, and he thought he was dying, and I had to give him an Ativan. So.
Oh, wow.
You got out of it without an Ativan. So
where was my Ativan? You didn't even offer.
I didn't take drugs at the time.
TJ, do you remember that? Do you remember?
This is either true or I've convinced myself it's true, but I thought later I was told that they sprinkled Coke in the weed of the bong from which I took a hit. I smoked a lot of pot. I've never done Coke. I'm not a Coke guy. Hashtag Len Bias. Hashtag Reggie Lewis. I don't do Coke.
Right.
So my heart, after 3 years of smoking, by the way, first time those have been hashtag not in Boston forever. But yeah, I wasn't just high. I was having, what's the word? A fucking stroke. And I was losing my mind on a random bathroom floor. And you were calming me down saying you're not getting high.
What happened with me? What did I smoke then?
I don't think you smoked. I think you were just holding my hand and rubbing my back.
Oh.
Telling me it's all going to be okay. And it wasn't. My life's been a mess ever since. Say you lied.
So someone was smoking cocaine out of a bong, left remnants, and you were the next guy to take a hit, and you smoked up a bunch of cocaine. You freebased.
I think I was an early freebaser.
Early? You're late to the freebase game at that point.
Early for Jews. 97, 98. That's breaking.
It took Jews
I'm glad you put that in there about the Jews. Yeah.
Yeah. How can you not?
Very popular.
Asterisk Jew.
Wow.
But we also went to go see, there were 8 performances of a musical Yoko Ono produced about John Lennon that featured no Beatles songs because I guess Yoko didn't think the Beatles were integral to the John Lennon story. And we went to go see that together in New York. And I remember, because you're a huge Beatle fan too, I remember both of us hating it, every minute of it.
Yeah, we didn't know we were both going at the same time.
No, we ran into each other at intermission. I think we were both getting a drink.
Yeah, you had to have a few drinks for that one. Suffice it to say, it's John Lennon songs. There's like 9 people playing John Lennon, a black woman, East Indian guy, an old lady. It's just like, all right, enough already. I've seen it. I would rather just YouTube, pictures of John Lennon beating his wife, and just listen to my favorite Beatles songs instead of this shit. So we were both very disappointed.
Oh man.
So it's true. So both true stories, I guess.
Yeah.
Now we're past the stories point. Now I think we should transition to because everybody in this Zoom could probably attest to their story of getting fired from Second City. I feel like that's like another thing that is consistent with all you guys.
Yeah. So this is going to be a long one, but I'll try to make it fast.
We're all day.
Me and the late Craig,
Yeah.
stage manager for Main Stage for many years, Craig Taylor. He, me, and a couple of waitresses, and maybe a busboy. We're all drinking at Last Act, then McManus, and then it closes. So we go back into the building to drink at a bar, and Craig Taylor knows how to break the taps and knows how to get in and everything. He has the keys. And in fact, he had supervised someone putting in security cameras like 2 weeks earlier. So we knew this and we were like, it's going to be fine. They'll see us on camera. They'll be like, what the fuck, you guys? And then they'll be it. But people got drunker and drunker. And then we went up the stairs in the back to a huge, like a Broadway musical sized event that was it wasn't going on, but there was like a show that they were having up there that kind of bombed. Remember that? Song of Singapore. It was one of those dinner theaters where like someone was like, dinner theaters are big now after Tony and Tina's. Tony and Tina's was like, let's Song of Singapore, whatever. Here's $3 million. So you go up the stairs, you're like, holy fuck, there's a ballroom they've built here, like 1945 era ballroom. And the show was closing, so there was just like racks of beer and not racks of liquor. And because people were drunk, people grabbed some of that liquor. And the next morning, they called us, everybody. They're like, you guys, what were you doing? You broke in. You were stealing from Song of Singapore. Now, they're like, what the fuck? What kind of thing is that? Our neighbors in the building, you guys are fucking stealing their liquor. And I'm like, listen, I didn't take any liquor. If you watch the video, you'll see that I kind of passed out at some point on the bench right there in Second City. You can see I don't leave the building with bottles. Someone else did. I'm not going to say what, who, why. But the next day, I'm like, oh, yeah, man. Kelly, of course. Kelly, my boss. I was like, yeah, man. We knew we were on camera. And we went up there to check it out. And he's like, well, someone stole liquor. So I'm like, oh, well, that's fucked up. I didn't do it. And so he called us all in. And then we had to go meet Andrew Alexander, who I've talked to, of course. But we had to go meet with him. And so all of us that were drinking, Aaron Carter, not Aaron Carter, Aaron, our stage manager at ETC.
Aaron Carney.
Aaron Carney. So he was in there too, maybe not a busboy, like I mentioned earlier. So we go talk to Andrew Alexander, and he's like, we want to send you guys to rehab. We'll take care of your, like what you would make. We'll set it all up. There's a place in Minnesota. And so, but before this all happened, we met at the bar and we're like, listen, whatever you do, don't accept going to rehab.
You knew it was coming. That's how bad
I knew it was coming. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I'm like, don't accept these terms. So me, Aaron, we both go in and we're like, thank you so much, Andrew. And I know that there's been a lot of death surrounding this place, and we're going to be a little better. And I'm going to take it easy and be more professional, but I can't take your offer to go to rehab. So, all right, we should go. I'm like, I'm sorry, I really can't. And so Aaron does the same, and the waitresses, I guess, do the same. And then Craig Taylor goes in there, and he's like, all right, I'll go. So Craig had to go to rehab and dry out while we were still drinking. And then when he got back, of course, he was still sober. And we were like, come on, man, have a drink. And like fucking around. He's like, fuck you, man. So it was just with Craig, that was just a funny little wraparound there. But yeah, we did get suspended. And I did go to Toronto, Second City, and do a setup there because I'd never been during my suspension. But after that, we came back and it was all great.
You got SNL like a month or two after, I seem to remember, right? Did SNL happen pretty quickly after you came back? I think they were like, this is it for you. We're watching over you.
I want to say there was a show that we wrote after, right? I don't know. Maybe it was the same year. Let's say the same year.
Okay.
So luckily I got back into the routine. We wrote the new show, and then yeah, that. So I guess that would be 1997, and I got hired in 1998.
It's amazing that I just do a podcast as people's stories about getting fired from Second City. I feel like that's always interesting at some point.
I wasn't fired by Second City though. That's
Yeah, you're
That's not true.
suspended. Scott's been fired a couple of times, TJ too. So they've
What?
got
That's
another.
for me.
Fired
oh
twice
yeah,
and hired
That's not
3 times.
that's not a bad thing. I think Chad's been fired twice too.
I'll take the
Garland's
over
been
on Chad.
fired 3 times.
Right,
Garland
you'll
got
take
fired 3 times. So I remember the second time I got fired, I ran into Jeff Garland at the Starbucks. He goes, "Man, that was a great show." And I go, "Great, they're going to fire me Tuesday because they don't want to ruin my holiday weekend." He goes, "That's terrific. I got fired 3 times."
Everyone's getting fired. So at least you got suspended there. The show is Black
Yeah.
Monday. Watch it on Showtime. And of course, you can see Horatio Sanz everywhere, his podcast and other places. Raj, awesome to have you, man. And thank you so much for being on the Pandemic Talk Show. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
Justin, guys, hold on. Before we go, Raj, do you want to do the dream song, the 15-minute dream song?
Justin dreamed of doing some radio, and he tried real hard. Then we all said, "Let's do it." I'm fat and I'm lardy. Don't I forget it again.
I love that you remembered that.
That's great.
It's
That's
only
great.
23 years old.
23 years old. How
Yeah.
about that? Horatio Sanz. Great to
Love
see
you,
you, man.
Raj.
Thanks for being on.
Don't forget, we created the dream song with Mick.
Yeah, that's you, Mick, and Jeff Richmond, and that was your cast. Yeah,
Thank you. Include yourself in that just for fun.
I had nothing to do with that. I came in.
Thank you,
Horatio
guys.
Sanz. Great to have you, man.
Love you, Raj.
How about
Raj.
that? Always
Love you,
great,
buddy.
man. Always.